Hey, welcome to my channel. I was just gonna make this start off real simple. Today I'm gonna be talking about the Lakers versus Grizzlies. How Anthony Davis is basically kind of just sold us this game. Kind of didn't really show up as being one of the best players in the NBA. Well, the Grizzlies, they showed up defensively pretty fast, pretty early. They showed who they are. They was more physical early from the beginning. I think it was a super slow start for both of us. It was both like 2-6, 2-8, and then Grizzlies kind of got to get it going. Xavier Tillman started to score, and we just never really got it together. D'Lo was missing jump shots. He was getting locked up. Anthony Davis was really getting on in his own head. I don't think anybody was really locking him up. Rui Hachimura kind of had a really good game, really solid. I believe he's going to be in the starting lineup pretty soon. If he keeps playing like this, he's going to take Jerry Vanderbilt's spot. I like Jerry Vanderbilt, but I believe in this specific series, Rui Hachimura, he's just going to be more effective because he's a better offensive player than Jerry Vanderbilt. I think Jerry's a little bit better defensively. It kind of depends if Ja Morant comes back. If Ja Morant comes back, then I believe I get it why you put Jerry Vanderbilt out there except for Rui Hachimura. But Ja Morant does not play the next game, I believe Rui should start. It spaces the floor. It gets Jaren Jackson having to guard somebody. Because when he's out there with Jerry Vanderbilt, he just stays in the paint. It's hard to get in there, and it kind of stacks into the offense. LeBron's kind of old. He kind of doesn't want to just run in there like a freak train like he used to do. Anthony Davis, he kind of can be passive and non-aggressive. So he has days where he looks like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He has days where he looks like Clint Capella. Now, I want to give up to Anthony Davis on defense. On defense, he always shows up. That's why I say I call him Clint Capella. Always shows up on defense. He had 5 blocks. He really contested everything that came to the rim. But at the same time, Xavier Tillman gave you about 21 points. And that's just almost not acceptable on a game where they're missing their star players. I think Xavier Tillman is a third-string center. I think Steven Adams was playing above him, and Clark was also playing above him. 2 guys are injured. So a third-string center really giving you 21 points is not really necessarily a good look, and they don't have their star player. I get it, they're at home. These are one of the better home teams, and they do play really good defense. Like, I'm not even going to lie, the Grizzlies really give it to you on defense. They really try on defense. It's very hard to score on them. You really have to lock in. But at the same time, on the other hand, they're not the best offensive team. Other than Ja Morant on the team, who's a legit scorer? Who can legitly give you 20 points a game? Nobody, really. I mean, Jaren Jackson is the second star. You have Desmond Bane. He could put up some buckets, but those are the only real people that can really score. I know they like to say Tyus Jones is the best point guard coming off the bench, but he's more of a efficient point guard than a pure scoring point guard that's going to put buckets in the hoop. He's just going to take good shots. He's going to make good passes. A good overall player. I don't know why we can't attack him defensively. He's kind of small. He's not all that strong. So we should be able to attack him defensively. But on a defensive time, they're a really big team. Like Dylan Brooks, Desmond Baines are going to compete. Even Xavier Tillman, Jerry Jackson Jr., he just won Defensive Player of the Year. So they're going to attack you on defense. They're going to be physical. They're not going to allow no easy buckets. And it seemed like on defense, they just wanted it more. They just came out from gate from the first quarter. And I feel like the first quarter is what really changed the game, changed the intensity, because the Lakers didn't really pick it up on defense until the second half. Now, when the second half came along, you see them kind of started to pick up on defense, start to realize the moment, start to realize, yeah, this team is actually a good basketball team. Even though they're missing their best player, this is a team that will and can beat you. Now, LeBron, he had a pretty good game. I do need him to be a little bit more aggressive. Now, it's tough to say because Anthony Davis kind of had a bad game. And he also took 20-something shots. So he was aggressive. But sometimes I need him to go to the rim more instead of settling for threes. He likes to take his little midi. That's pretty efficient. But sometimes he takes too many bad shots at times. Now, I ain't going to say all the time, but at times LeBron James can take bad shots. I need him to take the rim. I need him to have every player on the court thinking about LeBron James attacking the rim. And that's how you develop open threes, open three-point shots. So I feel like in this game, it was just a struggle to get open buckets. Memphis really had their game plan down, and they played a really good game. D'Lo had a bad game. I believe he was like 2 of 12. It's awful. He had 5 points. We don't need that out of D'Angelo Russell. Rui Hachimura is outplaying him. Once it comes to free agency, I'm not sure if we could re-sign everybody under the cap that we already in. LeBron James, Anthony Davis are going to probably make over $40 million just between the two of them. That's $80 million over I think it's $120 million a cap hold. So you only have so much money to spend on these guys. You have around $40 million. Now, it is a lot to have $40 million. I believe, no, we also have Jaron Vanderbilt on the cap hold. So he's going to be a part of the team. So I think we have like $30 million. We don't really have a whole bunch of cap. We have to sign Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell. One of those guys are going to get cut. Right now in this series, it looks like it's going to be D'Lo. I really like what Rui brings to the game. First jump shot he had was like a pull-up midi. He's a very good shot creator. He can work on his finishing. I feel like his finishing isn't the best, isn't polished. He's not necessarily the most athletic wing. So he kind of gives... Well, he's strong, but he's not athletic. If you get what I mean. He's more of... he kind of reminds me of a Carmelo Anthony in a way, where he's not necessarily athletic, but he's a really good wing. He could really score at the mid-range, post you up, spot up three. I think that's more towards his game. People like to say Kawhi Leonard. I don't think he's athletic like Kawhi Leonard or just a freak. Like Kawhi Leonard have huge hands and amazing on D. He's more of a Carmelo Anthony type player where he gets in the midi. He's a 3 levels. Well, he's not necessarily a 3-level scorer, but he can score for the midi and the 3-pointer. Now, like he's very good at spot ups. You can tell his jump shot he's been working on. It's very one motion, very fluid, very quick, very confident. Austin Reeves, we have to re-sign this man. He's just consistent. He doesn't really force anything. He doesn't need plays to be ran for him necessarily. He just goes out there. He shot creates. He creates his own shot. He could hit his open jump shots. He could catch and shoot jump shots. He could take it to the rim. He could get to the free throw line. He's not a terrible defender. He's above average defender. He's probably one of our better perimeter defenders out there. I believe we lack perimeter defense, but our forward defense is great. We have Anthony Davis and LeBron James. We have Vanderbilt, and we have Rui Hachimura. I feel like those four are really, really good, are above average defenders, and they're strong, so you can't really get bullied by them. And 3 of them are athletic. 3 of them really athletic. Jared Vanderbilt, very athletic, long, can stay with quick guards. That's why I like him. If Ja Morant plays in the next game, I like him in the starting lineup. But if Ja Morant does not play, I believe we should put in Rui just for the offense. So Jaren Jackson can just be in there, sitting there in the paint all day. In the next game, I got the Lakers. of course. We're going to be at home. Our first home game since COVID. In the playoffs. My fault. In the playoffs, first home game due to COVID. The years before, we had the one where nobody can really come to the arena, and then the bubble season. So yeah, we're going to be able to play in front of the fans. I think the crypt arena is going to be popping, and I feel like LeBron is going to have an amazing game. Anthony Davis, I don't know. I hope he's in the gym working. I hate that he doesn't really take jump shots or midi, because I remember when he was in a bubble, he was like a midi king. But I'm gonna need him to be more aggressive, pick it up. I need 20 points at least out of Anthony Davis every night. You can't drop 13 points in a playoff game. I don't care how many shots you need to take to get 20 points. I need 20 points out of you. It's no exception. There's no excuses. I need 20 points out of you. Please. For right now, that's going to do it for this video. It's a little quick recap. I'm going to be making more videos about the Lakers and about the NBA. I'm going to probably make another video about the Clippers Suns. So if you want to stay tuned, go ahead and watch that. Other than that, I'm out.